mentioned a lot of things in the state of the port overall from the macro view. Where is the port going in relation to other ports, cruise, cargo?
You know, we're unique. We don't pay attention to where a lot of those other ports are going. I mean, we look at their stats and their figures and market research, but you know, what we have here at Port Canaveral is unique. We have the land to expand. So on the cruise side, South Florida is very dense right now. Miami only has, I think, 1 or 2 more terminal areas that they can expand long term. Don't necessarily have the finances to invest in that at this current time because they've just spent a lot of money on tunnel and other infrastructure in the port. Everglades has no more room, as I understand it, for cruise terminals. So we're that natural, you know, other location, and our tie-in to Central Florida with 61 million people in the Central Florida market, the high level of service we give them, we know that the cruise growth, I mean, now it's not a matter of guessing at it. The numbers up to 6 million are now under contract, so it's really executing and doing that job day in and day out. Has much more of a dynamic effect. So if you go on to like the Port of Tampa's site, their revenue is about the same as ours, but their economic impact to the region is about 8 or 9 times larger because the jobs in cargo go inland. You know, they're higher paying jobs, they lead to more business overall, so that will happen here. We know that Port St. John and Titusville region, because of their location sitting there on 407 and I-95 around Tyco Airport, the East Orange County area, I mean, it's just poised for explosive growth. Lots of new master plans into those counties currently. The airport location. So that 528 and 95, between 95 and Route 1 are just perfect. So if you compare us to South Florida, it's total gridlock on the roads down there. So even once they get it off of the port, now they can't get it through the streets. They're down at the end of the peninsula, so it's a long ride to meet most of the markets. We are central. We can be in every Florida market in a 3-hour ride. So for warehousing, that means you leave in the morning, you get down to South Florida later in the day, or you get into Orlando, Tampa, Ocala, midday when there's not much traffic, you unload, you reload, you come back. That's a logistics model. Central has always been. It's why New Jersey is so successful at the Port of New York, because you've got a population base, they can reach up to Boston, they can reach down to DC. We really can take that same model of what New Jersey and Philadelphia has done, and now that we are the population growth in the Southeast, we can replicate that. Really, the design of 528 widening is on the work plan, 2016. We've already attended meetings with FDOT, so it's in the works, and it'll get attention, and those projects that are essential will get more attention as funding. You know, we have the Speaker of the House here in Brevard County. We have the President of the Senate, Andy Gardner. They know this area, so they're going to make sure that if there's needs in this area, they'll fight for us in the legislature and the Senate to make sure that the needs of this area are met. You know, crossing a river has been done over and over. We're going to be working with the Surface Transportation Board. That is an agency that is established by Congress with the focus on establishing rail and expanding interstate commerce. The directors are working hand in hand with us. So it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't snap your fingers and make it happen. It'll be probably about a year and a half going through the EIS. But by 2017, we're confident you'll be out here watching an engine roll into Port Canaveral. And it'll be really fun to be up there. I've always wanted to be on an engine, you know, so we'll get that little kid wish to make that happen. The good thing about our cargo numbers is that they're so deplorable that, you know, just doing a little bit, goes statistically up the charts. So that's not taking us massively far. We only do 5 million in cargo right now. So 20 times that is a $100 million business. That's not much different than what's happening in Port Everglades.
Just yet, but what can you tell us the newest thing about what you're seeing over with Project Pelican?
You know, they're out there on the streets already, and they are meeting with shipping lines. They're working on commitments. The reason we partnered with this particular company is they have relationships up and down the major ship lines because they're already their customers. So what they bring to us is that ability, you know, instead of me knocking at the door saying, My name's John. I'm from Port Canaveral. At the very low levels, they're going and meeting with the presidents of the cruise line at their country club, wherever that is in the world, and saying, hey, we have an opportunity for you. We're going into this new port called Port Canaveral. You need to make a stop. And relationships are everything in business. It's the same in logistics. So they're going to trust those people who have done good for them in the past, and they know they can repeat it right here. So it's that relationship. It's happening. They're out there working on those relationships now before the contract is signed. And they're a good partner for us, because then we can focus on the other growth markets and they can focus on growing that container terminal. With our desire to renovate the Cove, if you take a premium brand cruise customer, that's a customer that wants a very nice hotel product. They want a high level of amenity and look. So it will happen basically because of the Cove development and newer hotels. There's a brand new Homewood Suites that's going to be built just south of the port in the city of Cape Canaveral. We're talking to several 4-star plus brands. We've already got some of those brands in Orlando, so it's a matter of just connecting those dots. But we're confident that we will see 1 or 2 of those brands probably by 2016-17. Those are the schedules they're working on right now.